Welcome back, Master Chief. Now, defend this station.
Yes, sir. I need a weapon.
Here you go.
Ah!
Oh.
What is wrong with you? You couldn't have just passed it to me? Instead of just throwing it in my face, you could have cracked my helmet. Well, at least you didn't throw an axe to your face. Just like I did. Because he deserved it.
Hey guys, what is up? This is Matthew Davis, me once again. Welcome back to another video game review. This time it is going to be on Halo Infinite, the long-awaited 6th installment in the long-running Halo series has finally come out. We've waited since, 2018, and now it has finally come out, though the developers, 343 Industries, stated that they're not fully complete with the game yet, but they still managed to release it anyway, so was it a good idea to do that? I don't know, but anyways, let's get into it. So, the Master Chief has returned, and he is going up against the greatest foe he has ever faced in this large open world. That's right, Halo has gone open world, and you play as the Chief with his new AI companion, who isn't Cortana because she's dead now. If you played the 4th game, then you know that she's no longer around. But this new AI called the Weapon is sort of like Cortana. She's basically like a clone of Cortana, except she isn't Cortana. But like I mentioned before, you play as the Chief, and there's also multiplayer like most first-person shooters ever. Of course, Halo's going to have that, and it's free to play as well. But I want to get into the campaign first, because I usually come to Halo for the campaign. I don't really care for multiplayer. Basically, that was the biggest thing in Halo 5, the last game, which had a big focus on multiplayer, because the campaign in that game was super short. I beat that campaign in less than 5 hours, but this is quite possibly the longest campaign in all the Halo games. I am a fan of Halo, that's why I got that Master Chief plush. I don't play Halo a whole lot due to the fact that I'm more of a Nintendo and PlayStation guy than an Xbox guy, but I am a big fan of the Halo games, okay? The 3rd one's my favorite. I love the original trilogy. I also enjoyed Halo Reach and Halo 4, and even Halo ODST and Halo 5, though Halo 5 is probably my least favorite in terms of the entire series. Actually, ODST might be. But I was hoping, the developers could do something big, especially when it's coming out on next-gen consoles. I played this on last-gen, and the game still looked great, though it would have looked a lot better if I was playing on a Series X, or, I mean, I could have played it on PC, but I usually use my PC for editing videos and stuff, because I don't really, I can't really play a whole lot of games because I don't want something bad to happen to my PC. No, I really need to get a gaming laptop. But, hey, was the game fully worth the wait? Well, look, I'm just going to come out and say that I had a really fun time with this game. In fact, I recommend going out and playing it. I'm not sure if it's fully worth the price, but if you don't want to pay full price for it, then it's always on Game Pass, and that's basically why I got to play it, is because it's on Game Pass, because I'm not entirely sure if I want to pay full price for it. Because games have gone up to $70 now because of new gen. But yeah. Anyways, there is quite a bit I have to say about the campaign. It is the lengthiest one, and the fact that you can go into a full-out open world experience was a big blessing to behold, and it was really great to see. I had a lot of fun with the campaign, though in terms of its story, it is slightly better than in Halo 5, because that's one of the biggest problems with Halo 5's campaign, is the story was very weak and pretty messy. Right here, it is a tad bit better, but there isn't a whole lot of characters to interact with other than this one pilot and the weapon, or the AI of Cortana, the sort of Cortana that you play with throughout the experience. But in terms of what the game has to offer, it has a lot more bosses and some cool new weapons that you can play with. Though one of the biggest things that's kind of a step down from this game is the fact that you can't do dual wielding like in the games after the first Halo game, which was definitely a step up towards the series was its dual wielding. I had a lot of fun with the dual wielding in the other games, but the fact that they didn't have it here, it was kind of a letdown. But the gameplay was still fun, and it's the type of gameplay we've come to expect from Halo. And in terms of other stuff, you can get skills. You got new skills you can use, like you got this new grappling feature, which I feel like every game needs to have a grappling feature. It was great to see in this new Halo game. And there's other stuff you can use too, like these bomb things you can use to track, invisible enemies and stuff, shields and stuff like that. You can go and capture outposts, so you can get like cars or vehicles and stuff that you don't have to pay in-game currency for. It was something fun to be had, and though I really sucked at controlling the vehicles in the game because, yeah, I mostly just ran on foot, even though it was a lot slower. But the grappling feature definitely helped a lot. There is stuff you can collect about throughout the game too, like these audio logs. I'm not sure if they're really useful for anything. I guess so you can get achievements and stuff. Another thing, while I was playing the game, I got a lot of rare achievements, like achievements that were like for 5% of players getting, and I was really surprised too because I figured a lot of people would be playing the campaign, but no, I guess they're more focused on the multiplayer aspect because it's free to play. Yeah, you can also get skill points and you can take down outposts, and there's a lot of bosses you can fight too. Though most of them do feel the same, I feel like it was definitely a step up for the series to add a lot more boss fights, and they were pretty fun to take down and requires you to do specific strategies, especially when playing on higher difficulties. I played it on the lowest difficulty, but the AI still worked really well. It wasn't completely stupid like some of the AI in the other games. It definitely has the better AI in terms of the other games and stuff like that. It's not really saying a whole lot though because the gameplay does get repetitive most of the time, but the game and the world just looked so fresh and new that I really didn't care. I liked trying out these other weapons once I ran out of ammo and try out a new gun. It was just so much fun to do, and I had a lot of fun with the campaign. Despite its issues, I thought it was a really solid campaign, and sure, it doesn't have a whole lot to offer. It's mostly the same thing, but I feel like they're going in the right direction. I feel like 343 is going in a very, very good direction here, and they plan on doing more for the campaign in the future. Sure, it would have been nice to have seen that stuff that was supposed to be in the campaign immediately, but as it stands right now, the campaign is very playable, and I had a lot of fun with it. And I think it's one of the better campaigns than 4 and 5, in my opinion. It's far from the best campaign, but it was really fun to do. And the fact that it had more to offer, not entirely, but it had just enough to offer for my experience. Now, the multiplayer I actually did play. And while you can't really do a whole lot, you can do like training and stuff. When you do quick play, it doesn't allow you to choose which mode you want to do. It's mostly like PvP or capture the flag, which is stuff that you've seen before in other multiplayer games, stuff that you've done in other multiplayer games, like for instance Overwatch or maybe Call of Duty. I don't know. Though I play a lot of Overwatch, so yeah, it does have familiarities to that, but it was fun to get like rewarded for what you do, like quests and stuff to build up that XP. I wish you could just do that with just multiplayer matches without having to do any questing or stuff like that to get the full thing. And there is microtransactions, but I just choose to ignore that. So that's something that full on multiplayer gamers can complain about. I'm not really complaining about it, but I did have a pretty fun time with the multiplayer. Sure, it's pretty much the same as other multiplayer experiences. They did announce that they were going to do a lot more, and there's a lot of features that aren't fully on here, but they are going to do in the future. I know. They should have just done this, immediately instead of having to wait till like May just to get those features instead of just releasing it out right now. But, it is something that I am complaining about a lot. But you know what? I had a really fun time playing this game. The gameplay experience, it was fresh or not fully fresh. It wasn't new or anything like that. But the campaign, I had a lot of fun with. It's vast, open world environments. While it's not super big, it was definitely a great new direction for the series. I'm not sure if we're going to be seeing something like that in other future games. I really hope we do. It's vastly fantastic to look at, and story-wise, it is a slight improvement. And I don't really have a whole lot more to say about it, but what I can say is that I had a really great time playing this game. It was great playing as the Chief again, and just as the Chief, not some random, new rookie that just came out of nowhere, but just playing as the Chief himself is always a blessing. It's because I feel like that's what Halo is made for just playing as Master Chief. And no, the multiplayer games don't count, but yeah, I could say I had a great time with Halo Infinite. I have a feeling it might get better over time with these new features that they plan on releasing. You still can't do split screen with the campaign, but I heard they're going to add that feature in like May or something of next year. But I can say that it was a great experience for me overall, okay? It does remind you a lot of what made Halo great in the beginning in terms of its experience. It's fun bosses, it's fun new weapons and stuff. While it certainly doesn't have a whole lot of meat on its bones, I feel like it's absolutely awesome if you play on Game Pass. I feel like you're going to be a lot more pleased with it if you just didn't pay the full price. Not saying that the game isn't worth it. I do think it is worth playing, but if you're still not sure, play it on Game Pass. You can thank me later. But yeah, I can definitely say that I really, really enjoyed Halo Infinite. Not quite Game of the Year material, but it's still great enough. You know what? I'm glad I got to play this, okay? It might not fully live up to the hype, but I do think it was worth the wait. I mean, it gave me enough of what I wanted to see from Infinite. But yeah, I mean, there's not really a whole lot of controversy towards this game other than, not that many modes and microtransactions and stuff. But you know what? I enjoyed the game, and hopefully it will get a lot better over time. I know people just wish that the entire game came out like right now, but hey, it's not as bad as Cyberpunk 2077 where, the game just felt completely unfinished. And this game wasn't glitchy, it wasn't completely slow. It ran pretty well for my Xbox One S, but I know it could have been a lot better if I played it on a next-gen console or PC, but I didn't. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I'll put a link in the description below to all the gameplay footage that was on here. So yeah, but anyways, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys later. Word out.